This is a very esoteric, occult, mathematical process, but very super ultra simple. That grid that you're seeing, that is no joke. That is literally the layout, 9 blocks of the magic square of Saturn. And Saturn is the cross in the black cube. And he is the god of the material world. He's the grand architect. And if you count numerologically, horizontal and vertical, each line adds up to 15. Numerologically, that adds up to 6. So it's 666, which is not necessarily evil. It's the mark of man. Protons, neutrons, electrons. It's carbon. We are carbon-based life forms. So it is carbon. It is the physical world. It is the 4 elements confined in that particular symbol.
Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. So today we have just a TikTok compilation. My theme today is we're going to talk about the black cube and Saturn. So, but we have, I always put other stuff in it, switch it up a little bit. So I ain't going to hold y'all. That's going to be a quick video. Without any further ado, go get wherever you need to chill with me and let's get to the content. So let's go.
So, July 8th, 1979, all the fathers of Nobel Prize winners were rounded up by United Nations military units, all right? And actually forced at gunfire to give semen samples in little plastic jars, which are now stored below Rockefeller Center underneath the ice skating rink. Wouldn't want to be there for the thaw. Ugh. I mean, it's disgusting. You know what they put in the water, don't you? Fluoride. Yeah, fluoride. On the pretext that it strengthens your teeth. That's ridiculous. You know what this stuff does to you? It actually weakens your will, takes away the capacity for free and creative thought, and makes you a slave for the state. So you ever wonder about all these militia groups, survivalist type kooks from the right-wing side? They say that they're defending the country from the UN troops. These guys are yelling so loud. My theory is, and this is a conspiracy, pal, that they are the UN troops and that they're in place. The infrastructure's ready. It should be fait accompli. When the time comes, they'll just take over and we'll all be toast. Oswald. Yeah, Oswald. That's what I said, Oswald. He said, I'm just a patsy, and that means that he didn't do it, right? I mean, George Bush knew what he was saying when he said New World Order. Remember those 3 little words, New World Order? Well, he was a 33rd degree Mason, and as ex-director of the CIA. We knew that saying that was the chip for identification so they could track down an animal anywhere he's at. You'll insert it under the dog's skin, and it's kind of like an identification thing. I mean, it's only a small logical step. So they start putting it in us and our children. And then before we know it, my God, they'll probably come with the pretext. They go, oh, sure, yeah. Hey, is that one of those new hundreds? Where they changed the picture of Ben Franklin? Look at him. Yeah. He looks like the love child of Fred Mertz and Rosie O'Donnell. Yeah, that's him. Yeah, get rid of him as soon as you can, lady. Look at it up to the light. See the metal strip in it? That's a tracking device. If you got any more of those at home, get rid of them. Exchange them for goods or something. Because they'll follow you. They know where every one of those hundreds is going.
I mean, they do hide a lot of truth in plain sight. That's kind of like how they do this. And then illuminating news. But that's a good movie. It's called Conspiracy Theory. So check it out if you haven't, but I'm just saying. Let's keep going.
Phenomena of chemtrails. And when I was a kid, I used to see these trails in the sky all the time. And so that's cool. A jet just went over. And then you started to see a whole bunch of them. And next thing you know, everybody in your neighborhood was fighting and arguing and you didn't know why. Okay. And you really didn't know why. I mean, everybody was fighting. So he started riffing about the chemtrails. And he started to say things that hit home so hard. And I would recommend that everybody try to get what he said online or wherever and try to get a copy of it and just listen to it. because I was so moved that I had to write the song.
One conspiracy theory that Prince believed in wholeheartedly was the conspiracy theory of chemtrails. He alleged that this is why everybody acts crazy when planes pass by in the sky, and nobody could understand why these things were happening. He said he learned this information from Dick Gregory, and Dick Gregory was an activist who would talk about alleged different things that would happen in society. All of this information actually motivated Prince to make the song called Dreamer, where he talks about a few different conspiracy theories.
Was born, raised on a slave plantation. United States, red, white, and blood. Never knew it was different. The Dr. King was on the balcony, lying in a bloody pool. That's so much more from a loving society. Truthful explanation, but you know what? I got another conspiracy. The helicopters enough. This here get too deep. I can't stand this here. You better check these devils. We said it.
And after Prince's passing, Dick Gregory actually did an interview where he says that Prince was unalived on purpose.
They killed Prince. They killed Prince on the plane. And that plane is owned by Warren Buffett. And so those are the games they play, man.
Let me know what you guys think on Prince's conspiracy theory on chemtrails, the song Dreamer, and what Dick Gregory said about Prince's unaliving.
Like in my other video, we talked about Kobe. Like, they don't like when you go against the system. You know, Kobe going against the pharmaceutical companies, him going against the chemtrails, and nobody. If you haven't seen chemtrails in the sky, then please let me know in the comments. But everybody that I've talked to and know have seen them. I'm just saying, I don't know why people be feeling like it be conspiracy theories when it be clear as day. It's right there in front of you. But I did have to remove the music. I left his vocals, like his vocal, but I had to remove the music for copyright purposes, y'all.
Also, one thing I always think of when I come to here now, after learning about light codes, you know, and look at all the lights, look at all the frequency they hit in these people. You ever watch Percy Jackson where they go into the casino and they're all eating that lotus flower and they're all having the time of their lives? You know what I'm talking about? But they're really not. Time is just passing them by. Their life is just passing them by because they're so indulged into the society of that casino. What the fuck do you think all this is? What the fuck do you think the rat race is? I have a question. To everyone who goes to work every day, what are you working for? To have a box to sleep in at night? What are you working for? I want you to seriously contemplate. Seriously. What do you see? Ads. Buy, sell, sleep. Look at it all. And Beyonce. Forgot about Beyonce. Rainbow flags, pride. Disney. I mean, there's so much symbolism here, bro. It's ridiculous. So much symbolism. Again, we're up against this. And think about how many people do not see it, are oblivious to it, and think we're fucking crazy. Not gonna lie. Sometimes, and there's very few times, sometimes I wish I was asleep because I remember how blissfully ignorant life was at that time. But I wasn't knowing who I was. Now, wouldn't change it for a world. Peace to God.
I agree, and I'll tell you this, like, knowing the stuff I know, it has made life even more interesting, honestly, but I don't enjoy things the way I used to. I didn't enjoy the stuff I used to enjoy, like perception, everything has like shifted, my paradigm has like You know.
We have numerous active shooters going on right now in the United States. And no, I'm not talking about the rubber bullets by the police. I'm talking about actual shooters, like real bullets. I think there's like 6 people hit so far in Utah. Sorry, the video's so blurry. I can't really show you this stuff anyways, or not the explicit parts of it. And at the same exact time, that was Utah, at the same exact time, we're having an active shooter right now in Texas. Not to mention earlier today in Texas, they had to shut down the state capitol because they were saying that there were credible threats against lawmakers. This right here is who they're saying is the active shooter in Utah, and here is another picture right there. No idea what they may be motivated by. I hadn't been able to cover it today, but we have hundreds of thousands of people out in the United States. We have veterans getting beat up. We have conflict between the protesters and the cops. It's just absolute insanity. It's just absolute chaos all over the entire world, and I don't think it's going to get better. And the reason is we have one country that starts with an I telling the other country that starts with an I that tonight's going to be their last night. I'll let y'all figure out that one on your own.
Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments.
No, a bomb. I saw it. No plane hit nothing.
That is not a plane. They don't know what they're talking about. How would you see a plane hit that?
Dude, I saw the second explosion. There was no plane that hit the second building. It exploded from the inside out.
It was a bomb. Bomb in another building, not second plane. That was a bomb. Who said the second plane?
That's what we're told. The second plane. We saw it on television.
Everything.
All right. Thanks a lot.
What happened was I was down in the basement. All of a sudden we heard a loud bang, and the elevator doors blew open. Some guy was burnt up, so I dragged him out. His skin was all hanging off. So I dragged him out and I pulled him out of the parking lot. This was what was left on it. I pulled him out. When I pulled him out, I looked up and the second bomb blew off. Just saw a burst, a big burst.
All of a sudden, you heard a loud explosion. So we all ran to look, and the first building was a big hole on the side of it, and on the other side went a flame. So we stood there in shock. Everyone's screaming. A woman collapsed on me. I had to lay her down on my textbooks. And then before you know it, out of nowhere, the next building blew up. And then all of a sudden, everybody's everyone's running all over the place. A panic attack.
We actually didn't see the second plane, but we saw the explosion hit the other tower.
It has to be a bomb, right? Yes, of course. That exploded right in front of us.
I did not see a plane. They said the plane hit the first building. The second building just exploded.
That looks like a second plane.
I did not see a plane go in. That just exploded.
The ICE riots continue to cause chaos throughout the city of LA, and more protests are popping up, but I found some very interesting things, so buckle up. Now, my whole suspicions that this whole thing was funded and set up from the beginning was right, because this has been floating around. This is a Craigslist post that says they're looking for the toughest badasses in Los Angeles, in which it says, seeking extremely tough and brave men for a new crew I'm building. It also goes on to say you need to be physically fit, fast, ready for confrontation, and pays $6,500 to over $12,000 per week. This is posted right before everything popped off, and it even says former law enforcement is okay to join, but no Marines. Now, why would they do that? That's because 700 Marines have just been deployed to LA, almost like they knew, right? But that's not all. A brand new investigation just cracked open with this Chinese communist-linked billionaire, Neville Singham, who actually funds the Party of Socialism and Liberation that forced the hand of the Pentagon to release the Marines. Isn't it funny that his logo shows up at this anti-ICE protest that just passed on June 7th in San Antonio? Interesting. Not to mention, he lives in Shanghai, China, and I'm assuming he's made all his money George Soros style, but this is where it gets spooky. Can anybody tell me why not one, not two, but 3 Chinese nationals was just arrested smuggling in bioweapons into the US? Now, this is linked to a lab from the University of Michigan, and it said that this fungus can destroy crops and cause food poisoning. Wait, hold up. You mean to tell me that China owns almost 400,000 acres in the US around military bases and farmland, and now we have this? I think it's time we look up the ladder to see who's really pulling the strings here. Now, here's another thing I found odd. There's this website called nokings.org, which is anti-ICE, anti-Trump, but they just established themselves. But why is this site registered back in 2018? And I did some more digging. It was actually established in Arizona, but it had no prior links to this being a blog/video game site. So there's that. Then we have Gruesome Newsom filing a lawsuit against the Trump administration to end illegal takeover for the National Guard, which has escalated chaos and violence into LA. Everybody say it with me now. now, set up for a civil war. This is what they want. I'm not buying it. You shouldn't either. They want a race war. They want a civil war. Any kind of war to divide and conquer because they know that there's more of us than there are of them. Make sure you guys hit me up for my guide. I have a book on a societal collapse and how to prepare for it. I think everybody needs this by now. But as always, let me know what you think below.
We're going to talk about a little bit further in the video about the Chinese nationals that came with the pathogen to the United States. If you haven't seen the movie Civil War, go watch it. I agree. Order out of chaos is what they're doing. Technically, you know, creating the chaos, installing martial law. You know, all of this stuff was signed when Trump was in office the first time. Signed a lot of stuff over to WHO and the UN and FEMA and all that. Just go look into it, and we'll get into it in one of these videos. But for real, they've been setting the play up. Now it's time to walk it out.
Don't scroll. This shit getting crazy, y'all. These two Chinese nationals just got caught smuggling a biological pathogen into the U.S., y'all. And it's not just any pathogen, y'all. They said this junk can wipe out entire wheat and corn supply, y'all. Like, I'm talking about gone.
Two Chinese nationals have been charged with smuggling a dangerous biological pathogen into the United States. And this pathogen is considered a serious threat to our food supply and thus our national security.
This wasn't no accident, y'all. The FBI is calling it agro-terrorism. They saying they brung this shit over to fuck up our food system. One of the suspects is a researcher at the University of Michigan. And the other one, y'all, that's her boyfriend. They said this man was coming from China. He had the shit in his book bag. And the TSA officers caught that shit. And the crazy thing about this fungus, it don't just kill plants, y'all. This junk can also create toxins that's deadly for animals and humans. This shit sound like The Last of Us, right? So now the DOJ, the FBI, and even Homeland Security are coming together on this because you never know. What if they already smuggled some shit in? This shit crazy.
Forgot I had the video right after this, the one before. So there y'all go.
MK Ultra wasn't one experiment, it was a franchise of nightmares. Over 150 sub-projects, each more secretive than the last. Some had names like Artichoke and Bluebird. One allegedly was called Monarch, tied to trauma-based mind control and dissociation. The CIA didn't just test in labs. They went into prisons, hospitals, mental institutions, even universities. McGill University in Canada. Patients went in for depression, came out with wiped memories and scrambled identities. Many experiments were done without consent. People were drugged, hypnotized, isolated. Some were children. Even the Unabomber, Ted Kaczynski, was a subject at Harvard under one of these sub-projects at age 17. And here's the kicker. Most of these programs were contracted out to researchers who didn't even know the full agenda. The CIA just called it behavioral science. This wasn't science fiction. It was funded, documented, and partially declassified. And most of it still under wraps.
And that's why the butterfly is really a big symbolism for MK Ultra, the monarch butterfly.
So that conspiracy theory where people are trafficking human organs has now gotten a little deeper. So this 21-year-old former flight attendant was arrested for trafficking $3.3 million worth of a psychoactive drug containing ground human bones. Ground human bones. Let me repeat. This former 21-year-old flight attendant was arrested for trafficking $3.3 million worth of a drug containing ground human remains. She was arrested at the airport with this drug called Kush. Over 100 pounds of this drug that's only found on the black market. Take a look at this. This is the article about the stuff that she was caught with and was arrested for. Now, it's totally unclear of who is purchasing this stuff. I guess maybe it's people that are tired of the stuff that they've been using, and they want something a little bit different. But this contains human bones. Now, if you go back and check out some of my videos and all the stories that have been coming out of people arrested for selling human bones, it's got to make you think, where are they going? Maybe we know now. Well, she is facing up to 25 years to life. Now, here's the question on my mind, and the question I want to ask you. How long do you think she's going to survive once they found out what she was caught for and the people that she was transporting it for? How crazy is this story? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and as always, I'd love to hear from you.
Why? The only question I have, why?
Have you ever heard of the Kaaba? Looks like a black cube, right? Which is kind of ironic, and I'll tell you why here in a second. But see, the purpose of facing the Kaaba, right, is to provide a sense of direction and unity among all Muslims. But ultimately, all Muslims are one family, facing one direction, worshiping one God. And according to tradition, this stone was given to Adam on his expulsion from paradise in order to face forgiveness of his sins. And it's interesting because in Jewish practice, a black cube refers to tefillin, which are small black leather boxes containing Torah texts, which makes you wonder, why a black cube? I mean, I could get deeper into this and dive into that of Tartaria, but my video would probably be taken down for that. I mean, take the dark hexagon that's on top of Saturn, for example, right? I always thought to myself to be some sort of portal. That might sound far-fetched, I know, but anyways, if you make that spot three-dimensional, it becomes a cube. And in Roman mythology, the god Saturn, which was a god associated with harvest, time, wealth, and ironically the golden age, was also identified with the Greek titan Cronus, which if you look into them have attributes that are similar to that of Baal or Satan, which I'm sure it's not a coincidence that Capricorn is literally ruled by the planet Saturn, with it being represented by a goat. No offense against any Capricorns, okay? You are highly intellectual beings. I say beings because there are no way that you guys are human. You are amazing people, and I'm actually with a Capricorn, but I'm a Leo, so it definitely balances things out, you feel me? But through studying the background of the black cube in general throughout so many years, I've always noticed its origins to be connected to that of time, wealth, I mean every detail related to that of deities of which I've mentioned. And weirdly enough, you can actually find black cubes located around the entire world, including that of Astor Place, New York. And it just makes me wonder because it all comes back to one specific region. And I don't want to say too much about the region because I don't want to seem ignorant. I respect every culture that the world has to offer. But when does it stop being a coincidence?
You guys let me know how y'all feel, but shout out to the Capricorns. This is hard. Interesting though.
Have you ever heard of the Council of 300? Council of 300 is basically what we would call the Illuminati, and it connects directly to the cult of the Black Cube. So this was originally written by Dr. John Coleman in the book called Conspirators' Hierarchy, The Story of the Committee of 300. He claims that there's a shadow elite ruling the world behind the scenes, but there's multiple names for them. So it's the Council of 300, also the Hidden Hand, or the Olympians.
Interesting.
300 top-tier individuals that would be royalty, banking, dynasties, and corporate heads, including the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the Windsors, and high-level Vatican officials. This is why people are like, well, this isn't real because there's no record of it. Of course there's no record of it. The ultimate goal of the Committee of 300 is the creation of the one world government.
Yeah.
One thing this Dr. John Coleman writes about is that the Council of 300, they use this thing called the
Hegelian dialectic.
Yeah, often reinterpreted as the problem reaction solution mechanism. So it's a mechanism used by the elites. So it's a three-step process. One, problem, a manufactured crisis, terrorist attack, pandemic, economic collapse. Two, reaction, the public's emotional response. So the public's like, you got to do something to save us. And then three is solution. So the elites pre-planned solution that wouldn't have been accepted otherwise. An example, surveillance laws, war, lockdowns.
Order out of chaos.
They are playing in our fucking faces. I ain't tripping. It was Berenstein Bears, not Berenstain. Like, trust. Grandpop used to watch boring ass Star Wars every day, bro. He said, Luke, I am your father. He called out his name. We was there, but you were swerving down. You ask somebody, they gonna be like, no. He said, no, I am your father. Oh, okay. Fruit of the Loom? The cornucopia never existed? All of a sudden it's this? I promise you, I'll BS you not. It was Febreze with 2 E's. I don't care what nobody say. Are we losing our minds together? This is literally reality bending in plain sight. And they calling us crazy for noticing this shit. Pikachu always had the black thing on his tail. Where is it?
It's very much crazy though.
That's right. Illegal immigrants. We need to get rid of them.
Immigrants. I knew it was them. Even when it was the bears, I knew it was them.
Oh, won't somebody please think of the children?
In 1 week, the town will vote on a special referendum whether or not to deport all illegal immigrants from Springfield. It shall be known as Proposition 24.
Hey, German boy, go back to Germania. I do not deserve this. I've come here legally as an exchange student.
Young man, the only thing we exchanged for you is our national dignity.
You want to pick on immigrants? Then pick on Willie!
Willie, please. The children want to pick on someone their own size.
When those immigrants get deported, there'll be a lot more elbow room for regular Joes like you and me, Apu.
Mr. Simpson, it may astonish you to learn that I am an immigrant.
You? I don't believe it.
No, in truth, an illegal immigrant, sir. If Proposition 24 passes, I shall be forced to leave this country. Oh, I wish I could have stayed just 1 more year or 2. There was so much I wanted to see and to do and to have done to me.
Oh my God. I got so swept up in the scapegoating in front of Proposition 24, I never stopped to think it might affect someone I cared about. You know what, Apu? I am really, really gonna miss you.
Homer is horrible, but you know, y'all tell me what y'all think.
So has anybody else's phone service been acting strange recently? And their internet and stuff like that, it's just all been acting very bizarre recently. Like sometimes it's kind of like slow and everything else. And sometimes things seem to be like glitching a little bit. I don't know, is it just me? Or has this been going on for a little bit? I don't know. Not just today only, just for a little while. It just seems like the internet doesn't act right sometimes. The phone service, like your cell service, doesn't act right. I don't know. It's hard to really explain, but things really do feel weird anymore. Things really do feel different. Am I the only one that has, noticed stuff like this?
I've noticed it with both my home internet, my cell phones. So y'all tell me if y'all noticed it. I know I have.
The black cube of Saturn, also known as the Saturnian cube, has captivated the curiosity and imagination of many, particularly within esoteric and conspiracy theories. This enigmatic symbol is closely associated with the planet Saturn and has garnered diverse interpretations and beliefs across various cultures and belief systems. In esoteric traditions, the black cube is regarded as a representation of Saturn's energy or a cosmic force linked to the planet's characteristics. It is often perceived as a symbol shrouded in mystery, embodying occult power and the veiled realms of hidden knowledge. The cube's dark color is frequently associated with Saturn's association with darkness, time, and the shadow aspects of existence, hinting at profound meanings. The association of the black cube with Saturn can be traced back to religious and mythological contexts as well. In ancient Babylonian culture, the deity Ninurta or Marduk was symbolized by a black cube, signifying its divine essence and power. Furthermore, in Islamic tradition, the Kaaba, the revered structure located in Mecca, is a large black cube-shaped building. Considered the holiest shrine in Islam, it serves as the central focal point for Muslims during the Hajj pilgrimage. The Kaaba's black color and cubic shape have forged connections with the concept of the black cube, as both inspire awe and reverence within their respective religious contexts. Beyond religious and esoteric associations, the black cube has also attracted attention in conspiracy theories. It is occasionally depicted as a symbol of control, manipulation, and occult influence wielded by secretive elite groups. These theories often interweave the black cube with notions of global power structures, secret societies, and alleged hidden agendas. However, it is important to approach these theories with discernment, recognizing the distinction between factual information and speculative claims. In esoteric and occult traditions, the black cube assumes deeper significance. It is viewed as a symbol of mystery, power, and transformation, representing the realm of hidden knowledge and the material dimensions of existence. The cube's three-dimensional nature also symbolizes the interplay of opposing forces and the intricate dimensions of physical reality. It is often associated with the seeker's spiritual journey, illuminating the path towards self-discovery and transcendence. The allure of the black cube's enigma extends far beyond its various associations. It has sparked profound contemplation and imaginative speculation, drawing connections and inspiring theories that transcend cultural and historical boundaries. Some theorists delve into the realms of ancient civilizations and mythologies, seeking to uncover hidden truths and mystical wisdom embedded within the black cube's symbolism. They explore the ancient Babylonian traditions, where the cube represented the divine essence of powerful deities. By examining the significance of the Kaaba in Islam, they unravel the spiritual significance of the black cube as a focal point of devotion and the embodiment of sacred unity. Conspiracy theories surrounding the black cube venture into the realm of secrecy and power. They suggest that elite groups or clandestine organizations employ the symbol as a representation of their hidden influence, manipulating global events and orchestrating secret agendas. While it is essential to approach these theories critically and with a discerning eye, they attest to the captivating nature of the black cube and its potential to evoke intrigue and speculation. Esoteric and occult traditions regard the black cube as a conduit for transformative experiences and spiritual enlightenment. Its dark facade symbolizes the journey into the depths of the self and the exploration of hidden knowledge.
Well, that was an interesting perspective. But y'all tell me what y'all think. That's interesting.
The cult of the black cube, better known as the Saturn death cult. The global elite worships the dark side of the planet Saturn and uses occult symbols in modern institutions, and it's been going on since creation. Basically started with the fallen angels, and it all revolves around the god Saturn. But this god Saturn is also the god Baal, the god Molech.
Oh gosh.
And is prevalent in basically every ancient and modern satanic.
Saturn is Satan.
They think it translates from Satan, the astrology Capricorn, which is the primary thing, and that is Saturn, which is a goat. The black cube, I'm like, where's the black cube come into this? There's like this dark spot on the top of Saturn that is in the shape of a hexagon. And if you take the hexagon and you make it a three-dimensional, it makes a cube. What was crazy is that if you go to basically any major financial district, they all have a monument of a black cube.
No way.
They believe that worship of it is that they're able to tap into this realm or this deity to be able to enslave the masses. The cult of the
Y'all tell me what y'all think. These are a couple of different perspectives on the black cube, but the black cube is very much prevalent, and even like Nintendo, the cube. But the black cube is everywhere, along with Saturn, along with the Saturn rings. And if you start breaking it down to be in all of the main brands, you know. So Saturn and Saturn worship is very, very big within the occult and just in general in our world. and the Matrix and Chronos and the Father of Time and all of that coincides together. So y'all let me know though. So everybody, we've made it to the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Of course, you guys, I tell you this every time. I enjoy making these videos. That's why I'm doing it. But if you have gotten a lot out of it, I appreciate that. If you didn't, appreciate it too. You know, maybe it wasn't for you. Maybe the next one might be. But I am going to let you guys go because I have things I have to take care of. I had to stop midway the video to go pick up my little one from camp. And so now I still need to go do some things for them. Let's see. Yeah, another week. I'll be back with another one. But I ain't going to hold y'all. I'm going to let y'all go. But until next time, bye.